Blog Talk Radio.
Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot, oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls Radio. I'm your host, Patricia Baker. I'm here with my co-host, PK. Patricia Kirkman, how are you tonight?
Absolutely fabulous. Dealing with a 108-degree day. I just feel like I'm into a sauna. I keep telling myself being at a spa.
I don't know how you deal with those hot temperatures. Is it also humid, or is it truly dry heat?
Well, for the most part, it's dry heat. But like anything else, if you're out in the sun, you're going to be drip dry. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Well, again, we've got more news and crazy stuff going on in the world, so we got to check in here. What is happening? What do you have for us with the numbers?
Well, I guess the first thing to think about is that we are in a 3-month, and for everybody, please remember, this month is a review of last year's stuff. Today's a 6th day, so we're more concerned about the details of things and things that revolve around family, what have you. So it's a good time to take a look at our new young lady that's going to be running for VP.
All right, let's take a look.
Lady.
What'd you find out?
Well, firstly, boy, is she hard-headed. She's going to give everybody a run for their money. In her chart, she's very headstrong and very determined. But she speaks her truth, and she says it, and she expects everybody to jump up and to notice it. She doesn't play pretty when it comes to what she's got to say. It's right from the gusto. But her work is always creative, so she's always going to be working at it. Doesn't particularly like change, works well on the spiritual side when it's on her dime, her way of dealing with it, but very caring for the world at large. When you take a look at her things, she's in a 7 personal year right now, so it's all about learning and teaching, and boy, she's going to be doing a lot of teaching over this next couple of months for people to pay attention to. Her chart says there's issues both with mom and dad. The parents were divorced when she was young, but she has basically been involved with, I'll say, in a political element from the day she was born. Her parents were both involved, and she is also. Everything that they've done, they've had the backing of how things are supposed to be, how they should be. Parents were really great teachers in their own way, socially involved with everything. And so their parents divorced, I think she was 3 or 4, something like that. So she's been pretty much involved because parents have been involved with the political element of things. But she has issues with both mom and dad, which would make good sense because they're both very strong people. And she, by the way, like I said, extremely hard-headed, but she has a way of, what's the phrase? She could romance the stone if she wanted to, and she will do just that very thing. So Biden did well by selecting her because she will certainly be an asset for him because he's got enough issues of his own. So I'll just let it go with that. I don't want to get into the political who's who, and that's one, but it's going to be an interesting run for their money. But this young lady is able to sell ice cubes to Eskimos. We'll watch it and see what she does because she's going to be more the front runner throughout the whole little enchilada, shall we say, okay?
Yeah, well, that makes sense given the poor performance we've seen from Biden all along, so I know they got to stick somebody else out there.
He can't get his words straight.
Oh, he doesn't know where he is half the time.
Like me. I can't.
Yeah, but thank goodness you're not running for president.
Oh, I should have done it. I've got all the right moves for it.
You're funny.
So right now, if people will just kind of pay attention to the fact that, think about what last year had for them and what it offered them. And this month is giving you a chance to review it or redo it or kind of put some things in order. And since it's a universal 3, it's about our being able to be creative and communicate. Just don't scatter yourself too much. And please don't spend money you don't have because you'll regret it next month.
So got to be frugal.
Oh, God, yes. Until we get through, definitely until we're through September. Because there's going to be a lot of good stuff popping up come October.
Oh, yay.
Yeah,
well, that sounds good to me.
Myself until then. How about that?
I like it. Well, this is good. This is all interesting stuff. So we've got lots of changes coming ahead of us, I know. And tonight we have somebody who we love. He's been on the show before, and his name is Simon Chokoiskey. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Anyway, Simon is a great predictor because he's a master of astrology and other things too, and he's an author of some great books, and he's joining us tonight to talk about the changes that are coming up because God knows we have been through immense changes since the beginning of the year, and now we're all sitting around going, what is going to be next? So Simon is here to talk to us about the election, Bitcoin, COVID, and other things, I'm sure. So Simon is the author of the 5 Dharma Types and Sex, Love, and Dharma, and he also the Gambler's Dharma and Secrets of the Sacred. Great writer. His books are phenomenal. We highly recommend them. And he's a pioneer using Vedic astrology, which I happen to like a lot, and Dharma Typing to help clients discover their Dharma. Simon has a gift for making complex concepts easy to digest and simple truths profound. Now, Simon is taught alongside Dr. Vasant Lad at the renowned Ayurvedic Institute before venturing out on his own consulting business and Dharma Type Certification course. And he's with us tonight. We're going to hear what's happening next. So, Simon, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Welcome to my show. We are all in each other's reality. Can you hear me okay?
We're happy to be in your reality. You have a fun reality. Yes.
I'd like to
thank
leave mine.
You so much. Yes, thank you for joining us tonight. So tell us a little bit more about you and your training, because obviously you're involved in astrology, which is one predictive method, but you're also involved in other things. So tell us more about you.
Yeah, I like stuff that works. So I do astrology, and because we're never perfect at it, maybe that's why I've kept doing it, because I'm looking for that magic formula when all of my predictions can be right. But alas, only God or Spirit is 100% correct. So if anybody tells you they're 100% correct, they're selling you something. But I try to be better than average, and I have a YouTube channel where the last couple of years I've made a few predictions. I predicted the exact month and duration when Trump would be impeached a year before. So way back in 2017 or 18, I think, we predicted that starting November 30th and ending February something or other, November 30th of 2018, and then through February of 2020. It's on the tape. I predicted that he'd be impeached. And I have some predictions to make about the election as well now. So the stuff that I do is based on the principles of as above, so below, and I test it out in the world of sports. So, for example, if the chart works, it should tell you if the Yankees are going to win or not, right? Or or which racehorse is likely to win. Although that one's harder because there are usually 10, 15 horses. And so recently, some of my students asked me to put it to the test in the elections, and that was never something I was interested in. But back in 2006, in May, in one of my classes, a student asked, "Hey, is Trump going to win?" And everybody kind of laughed because he was still kind of an outsider back then. And we pulled the chart, and we all gasped because the chart it was a clear yes. And I said, well, you can't always go by the chart. I tried to walk it back, but of course the chart was right.
Yes, it was.
And so since then, I kind of scolded myself to trust the chart. And so since then, I've tried to make a few political predictions, event predictions, and so far they seem to be doing okay. We've been looking at, we could start with the election. So when it was down to Bernie and Joe Biden, this is a few days before that big primary, it was clear that Biden would be the winner, even though all of my friends who were with me, who asked me, they were all Bernie guys. They're like, dude, you suck. You're not invited anymore.
You're not invited.
Come back next year. And I said, guys, it's the chart. It's not me.
Right.
I'm going for Bernie too. They said, not good enough. So Biden, in fact, did take it. And then they said, a couple months later, in another live class that we did, this is all recorded on tape, so I'm not making any wild claims here. They said, who's going to be his vice president? And we looked at the chart and the sounds K and H. And I said, I don't know who K, H is, because I was thinking, who's, And then someone just blurted out, Kamala Harris. I said, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So about 3 months ago, we predicted as a class together that Kamala Harris would be, and we're on record for saying that. So we're very happy now. Our little WhatsApp group page is lighting up, with congratulations. And so, of course, at the same time, we also looked at who's going to win the big one, right? Who's going to take the prize? And according to me, it is going to be Joe Biden. And then the next question came up, will it be a fair election? And the answer was a clear yes, it will be fair. However, people will argue about it. There will be, much ado about nothing, but I think the election will be pretty clearly in Biden's favor. And that's my prediction. Now, I also acknowledge other professionals, other experts who do this. I never used to put myself on the line, but I do it now because, might as well. That there is an outside possibility. That Trump maybe takes it, but he does not survive his term. So he will be out. But I think that the 98th percentile level of certainty that it's Biden who wins it. I don't think Trump will.
Well, you're the
serve
first
a second term.
astrologer to come on the show to make that prediction. We have had astrologers on previously this year that have said Trump's going to win it. So now we're going to have to see what happens, Simon.
I beg to differ. So, and in fact, I think Kamala has a bright future. She could be the first female president at one point. I think she has a good future, yeah.
I think if Trump gets in, I don't see him completing the term also.
No, not at all. And there is an outside chance of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he gets in, I don't see him get the whole term. But
there are health issues that he has a lot of problems coming up for him, and among them health issues.
Yeah, too many hamburgers.
For that, yeah. So in the outside chance he does win it, he won't serve his term. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
There's been a lot of predictions also, Simon, that this is going to be the last presidency period. Have you looked into that at all?
I've heard that. I can see what they're talking about, but it's. I don't think so. I don't think so because the country has a sort of a will of its own. I see what they're talking about, that we are in a kind of a turbulent time, but we've been in very turbulent times before, and the country has survived it. The Constitution has survived. So I think I don't think that's the case. And I know what some people are looking at, and there is validity to it. But I think it's like looking at a person and you know, they get a really bad illness, or they get hurt, and the doctor says you'll never walk again. But if you really know that person, and you know their character, and you know their strength, you know there's no way they're not walking again. They are going to walk again, regardless of what hits them, right? They're going to make it. And I think it's like that.
What is it that they're looking at in these charts that gives them the idea that it would be the last presidency ever?
Well, the United States is what's in what I call an outsider life cycle. The outsider life cycle is a time of true change and rebellion. You know, different regimes or different presidents have come in and said, you know, we're going to change things, everything. But the real time of change is now. All the stuff before the country was not in a real revolutionary period. This is a time of revolution. And it started in 2016, ironically. So we got an outsider as a president, someone completely out of the box. And
that's right.
This period is going to continue for another 10 years. So we're not nearly out of the woods yet. So by the end of this period, there will have been major reforms in the justice system, and so that's part of, I think, what people are seeing. The other part is there's a horoscope for the country itself, and it's in a period that has to do with, you know, a struggle between the powers that be, the old guard and the new guard. But that's always happening. That's always happening. Every generation, you know, struggles to hold on to its values while a new generation takes over. So different people using it, like numerology has its own techniques, astrology has its own techniques, others, psychics and so on. They use slightly different methods, but I think we're all seeing kind of the same phenomenon, like the storm brewing. And the question is the house built? Is the roof going to stay on the house? And I think the roof is going to stay on the house. It's going to take some damage. You know?
Yeah. And what about, okay, so that's your prediction. We're going to make note of that on the election. What about COVID? I mean, you probably saw that coming too, astrologically.
Alas, no. So this is one that I've been wrong on. And I think everybody who does this has to celebrate their wins, but also to acknowledge their failures. And this is one I was asked about, and I felt that I thought that it would subside significantly by June, July, and it hasn't. So I don't want to speak to COVID because I don't have the best track record on that. And, my guess is as good as yours. I don't have any additional information, except, okay, I'm going to add one thing.
Okay.
That the planets, the nodes, the north and the south node of the moon, which rule viral infections, things that come out of the blue and completely whack you. Because like in boxing, when someone hits you straight up on the face, it hurts, but it doesn't knock you out because you see it coming. The punch that hits you from the side on the temple that you don't see coming is the one that knocks you out. So Rahu and Ketu, the nodes of the moon, are like the hook, the side punch. And that's what COVID has done. It's come out of nowhere to knock us out. Those planets move. They change signs in the sidereal system at the end of September. And according to that, there should be a lessening. But honestly, it's not just going to disappear. I think that was my second phase of lessening. I thought June, July, it should subside noticeably, and then end of September, there would be a second phase of lessening to where we could all get back to our lives. But, the first prediction didn't happen, and so I'm a little wary about the second one. I think COVID overall is going to take a while I think there'll be a lessening end of September, but it's going to take a while to truly disappear. And by a while, I mean at least another year.
Yeah. that sounds about right. I mean, if we look at what's going on, I mean, here in Massachusetts, we had opened up a number of places, and then due to the fact that there were people having big parties, I heard, and it started to surge again, they started to back things down. So, yeah, it looks like we're still dealing with a lot of the same things, and obviously people have their opinions about wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, and it's caused a lot of turmoil. I don't particularly care. I mean, if somebody says wear a mask, if it's going to help, I'll wear a mask. I don't care. If it's going to help 5%, 1%, it's good enough. So
if it saves one life, it's worth it.
Say that again, PK?
Absolutely agreed.
I said if it saves one life, it's worth it.
That's right. So I don't know. There's just a lot of, it seems like, hostility that's just boiling up. Is that in our chart in America also? This kind of hostility that we're seeing?
Well, yeah, this is the story. We're in a rebellious phase, and people are ready to rebel over anything. I mean, wearing a mask is such a trivial little thing. If you've ever traveled anywhere around the world, you know what people have to go through. Wearing a little mask, I don't like wearing it. It sucks, but I wear it, right? Just just kind of honor the fact that everyone else is wearing it, and the fact that medical doctors and surgeons and nurses wear them every day, 12 to 14 hours a day, and they never complain, right? And so here we are. We have to put it on when we go to the grocery store for 30 minutes. Boo-hoo. Oh, get some balls, man up. Come on. Seriously.
Exactly. That's right.
Man
up and get over it, right.
Everybody needs to put their big boy pants on or their big girl pants on.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Stop whining. Yes, we agree. And so, okay, so with COVID, you're not sure about this, but it seems like we may have another year, and I agree. I think we will.
Yeah, COVID. I'm listening to what my fellow and colleagues are saying, and they're in agreement that it's over the long term. But my track record on that hasn't been great. It's been better in other areas, so I'll stick to those for now.
Okay.
Like the fact that, for example, the effects of COVID I can talk about, particularly on the economy. The chart of the United States is the United States about to enter a Saturn period, and even if you don't know anything about astrology, Saturn, okay, maybe it's just the way I'm saying it, Saturn period, is not great.
Really well.
Yeah.
Right? Saturn. It might as well be Darth Vader's voice.
Right, because Saturn is like Darth Vader. Tell us more about Saturn.
Saturn is the taskmaster. He is the one who gives you your lessons for past indiscretions, right? You drink too much, he's the morning after headache, that kind of thing. So he gives us the effects of our actions. And the fact that we're starting Saturn in November, right after the election, in the United States chart suggests that the U.S. is about to enter a heavy kind of recession, basically, an economic downturn. And people think that they're feeling it now. No, you haven't felt anything, because there's support, right? There's checks from the government. There's been some kind of support. I think starting December of this year and in through next spring and summer, the United States will fall in a bit of an economic depression, and part of that will be the value of the dollar will continue to fall, which is why the price of Bitcoin and gold and silver have skyrocketed, since March. Bitcoin was worth 4,000 in March. It's worth 12,000 now. It's tripled, almost 12,000. Gold is hit an all-time high, and this is because people know that the value of the dollar is going down, and it's going to keep going down for a while, because the dollars are being printed and whatnot. But really, it's because we're entering a period of Saturn, which is about tightening the purse strings. And so, unfortunately, I think this will also affect the real estate market, particularly starting next January, February, for a few months at least, for about 6 months. So if you're looking to buy, I would say wait, about 4, 5, 6 months. You'll have opportunities to buy. If you're looking to sell, I would say sell sooner than later, because prices might go down in about 4 to 6 months. I think there will be evictions. This is I hope I'm not saying anything new. You could see it on the news, but this will accelerate after November of this year, unfortunately.
Okay.
So the people that own the property that are being rented, they have to eventually pay their own bills, and if they've got nothing coming in, common sense says, hey, something's got to give, something's got to break.
Well, here in the state of Arizona, I was just listening to the radio, the news radio, and they said we're expecting 10% all the way up to 30% more homeless people in the next 6 months, people on the street. Yeah, it's crazy. So because there was a moratorium on evictions. So that's what I mean. I think we haven't really felt the effect of the economic depression because we're really focused on the COVID right now. And rightfully so. So that by November, after the election, starting November and then really starting December, because this period starts end of November, we're going to start to feel the economic impact. And if it is true, if in fact I'm right and Biden wins, I don't think the markets are going to like that. I think the markets are going to reflect, are going to, become a little depressed. Because typically they don't like.
Most definitely, because they definitely don't like him. So
like major changes.
Yeah, and his policies, definitely. Yeah. So. Are
you in Arizona?
I am in Arizona right now, and my dial says 113 degrees.
Oh, you must be
right
in the Phoenix area.
I'm in Phoenix. Yes.
Yep, I figured.
Yep.
Yeah. It sounds a little bit cooler. We're only 108.
You're in Tucson, further south.
You must be wearing long pants and a sweater.
Definitely. I got a muffler on, too.
Yeah, we envy you.
Oh, my goodness. Now, does astrology, since we're talking about the weather, Simon, has the astrological charts that you've been looking at for the world and our country, does it point to any big extremes and further changes with weather patterns, earthquakes, things like that?
Oh, see, that's another one. There are astrologers who specialize in earthquakes. I'm going to call out Ms. Christina Collins-Hill. I know she does a lot of research in that. I haven't, but I'll tell you, the ancient texts in Vedic astrology talk about how to predict earthquakes. It's kind of like when you're a doctor and you go into, let's say you want to be an orthopedist. Well, and you specialize in that, but you don't really dabble with eye medicine, being an eye doctor or, OBGYN, right? They each has their own specialty, and that's one that I haven't really dabbled in. So in terms of weather changes, I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's move on to Bitcoin, which you just mentioned briefly. Tell us about Bitcoin. As we were talking off the air about this, a lot of people have expressed interest in it, but then are dissuaded by the volatility of it, and also it seems like there could be a number of shysters out there with websites claiming to buy and sell it, but then they just take your money and run. So if you could give us some more information on that, I know the audience and I would really appreciate it, and PK too. We've both been interested, but a bit afraid of what is
Bitcoin? Start with that. What is Bitcoin?
Bitcoin represents basically a network, and it is. So think about the internet. Back in the early 90s, you had this thing called the internet and email. And we were all like, why do I need email? I could just call you on the phone, right? Mm-hmm. And then people were, well, it's more efficient as well, but I heard there's a lot of scammers. Remember? Hello, I am a Nigerian prince. If you send me $5,000, I will give you my bank account. Remember all those emails, spam you used to get? But did that mean that you had to throw away your email? No, right? Because there will always be people who take advantage of new technology to try to scam people. Yes, so 100%. The good news with Bitcoin is that it has evolved enough since those early days. So we're not in the 1993 version of the internet. It's like the year 2000, let's say, right now, comparatively. So Bitcoin now and the blockchain, so Bitcoin represents something called the blockchain, which is think of it like Internet 2.0. It's the next version of the Internet, because on the blockchain you can store anything and everyone has access to it, but nobody can tamper with it. So, for example, when you go to buy a house, you have to go through escrow, and the agents, the professionals, they dig through escrow, they dig through records to see, are there any liens against the house? Does anybody owe money? Is it close to a nuclear site? Has there been any bad weather? I mean, everything. They have to dig, and you pay them a lot of money for that, right?
Right.
Well, with the blockchain, all of that gets uploaded, and it's there. It's permanently forever. It's called a ledger. So you can add to the blockchain, but you cannot subtract from it. And what happens is you don't need the escrow anymore. You simply go on the blockchain, and everything is there for you to see. It's kind of like a cloud, but it's not run by any one company because it's connected by all the computers in the world. So it's this really, really cool technology, and we haven't figured out all the cool stuff we can do yet. Like in 1995, we didn't know you could order, cat food and have it delivered from Amazon the next day to your door, right? We didn't know we could do that with the internet. We didn't know we could stream movies on the internet. We still had to go to the box or to Blockbuster, get the DVD, pay for some extra bubble gum there on the counter and waste a lot of money and time, right? But people figured out, very smart people figured out ways to use this technology. So that's what's happening now with the blockchain. And you have the co-founders of YouTube. You have some of the founders of PayPal. They're all into this, and they're figuring out really cool ways to use this technology to help everyday companies. And so what Bitcoin is, it is a measure of work done, of something called mining, because you have to mine Bitcoin. It uses resources, electricity, you need space, time, you need power to do these really complex transactions. It's like you need resources to mine gold, right? You need diesel fuel, you need tractor, you need manpower to dig it out of the earth. Well, it's kind of a similar thing with Bitcoin, except what you're mining is not a physical thing. You're doing work. And the proof of that work is the coin. And the reason the coin was invented was as a hedge against the dollar inflation. Back in 2008, the last crash, somebody named Satoshi Nakamoto, probably an alias, could be a bunch of people, said, no more of this bullcrap. Too many people have lost their homes. Too many people have lost their life savings because somebody in Wall Street is playing games. I want to create a universal money of the people. Okay, so Bitcoin is the people's money. This is what Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad guy?
Yes.
He says gold and silver are God's money. Why? Because they came with the earth. Just like we came with the earth, gold came with the earth. It came from God. Bitcoin and other digital currencies, so now there are many others as well, is the people's money. And then fiat, which is, dollars, rubles, and so on, is government's money. Okay. And the reason it's called fiat, it comes from the Latin imperative case, I believe, which means let it be so, make it so. So a government says, let there be more money. And then money is created. It comes out of the will of the government. And because of that, a government can debase it. It can, like $1 50 years ago could buy you a lot of cupcakes. $1 can't even buy you one cupcake today, right? That's because the dollar loses 2%, about 2% every year in value. But Bitcoin is something that cannot be debased or devalued by any government, which is why Rich Dad, or Rich Grandpa now, he's a little bit older, says this is the money for the people. And unfortunately, it's not at the stage where you can spend it as money, but nor can you spend gold or silver as money. But it is a store of value to make sure that if you earn $100 today and you put it into Bitcoin, in a couple of years, well, first of all, it's probably going to go up and you'll have a few $100s. But even if it stayed at the same price, it would still give you more buying power than if you just held that $100, because that $100 is going to be worth less and less and less every year. It's kind of like a car. You buy it, the moment it gets off the lot, it depreciates. I don't know if that made any sense at all.
It does.
Yes,
but
it does.
Okay, so how do you know where to go and invest in this? Do you have
it's very
sites
easy.
that are reliable?
Oh yeah, 100%. So for a while now, we've had very reliable sites. It's kind of like, the Yahoos, the AOLs of the internet. You knew if you made a Yahoo email, it'd be fine, or AOL or Google. So I'll give you the names of a few, in no particular order. The most popular and the easiest to use is called Coinbase. Coinbase is like the Google of, buying Bitcoin sites. Very easy. You have to prove your identity, obviously, because you're dealing with money, and so forth, but it's very simple. Another site is called Gemini, and Gemini is run by the Winklevoss twins, affectionately called the Winklevi. And if you don't know who they are, the Facebook movie?
Yes, those are the two guys from that.
Those are the two guys that he's kind of stole the idea from, yeah. Well, they're heavily into Bitcoin now, and they run probably one of the most reputable exchanges called Gemini. Okay. And same thing. You go on Gemini, you connect your bank account, and in 30 minutes you can buy, Bitcoin or any other digital currency. Coinbase, Gemini, there are phone apps that I recommend. One is called Celsius. This is my favorite by far, because the guy who invented Celsius is the guy who invented voice over IP. His name's Alex Mashinsky. He's the reason we can talk over Skype for free, right? Remember when you have to pay 25, 30 cents a minute on AT&T to talk to your... Mm-hmm. Because of this guy, Alex Mashinsky, now you can talk for free. He invented that technology. He has the patent. And now he invented he has an app called Celsius that allows you to earn interest on your Bitcoin. So you can earn about 5% interest on Bitcoin, up to 10% interest on other coins. No joke.
That's excellent.
So it's amazing. So his thing now is money over IP, meaning he wants to put power in people's hands so they actually can have a real savings account where it's not all going to the bank, it's all coming back to you, and they charge no fees, no transaction fees on anything, no late, nothing. So you upload your Bitcoin to the Celsius wallet, and you immediately start earning interest, anywhere from 4.5 all the way up to 10%, depending on which coin you own. I have my savings there as well. So that's a great phone app. And more institutions are coming into this space. Pretty soon you'll be able to buy it with PayPal. Pretty soon you'll be able to buy it with your Visa card. Right through the Visa app, or because Visa is on board, PayPal is on board. So this is now what used to be kind of a kooky thing. It's mainstream, basically. Almost mainstream.
Explain to us, if you would, how it goes up and down. Because you said it was now up to around 12,000, but it does go down every once in a while because I see it on my phone.
Wild swing.
Yeah, so why is it going down?
For the same reason that Amazon stock goes up and down, or Apple stock. They all provide a product and a service, right? It's something that we all find useful. But Amazon used to be worth $8-9 at one point, 10, 12 years ago. Now it's over, I don't know, 300 something.
Yeah,
Tesla,
way up
same
there.
thing. It's an asset that, like any asset, goes up and down in value. So it's like owning stock, basically.
That Bitcoin is more volatile than most stocks. Is that true?
Yes, it is true, and not just Bitcoin, but cryptocurrencies in general have been historically more volatile. But think about it. They were invented. Bitcoin was invented in 2009. It's an 11-year-old. It's a little baby. And, young kids, they're volatile. But unlike young kids, Bitcoin has actually matured a lot faster. It's kind of like a 9-year-old dog now. It's about 10 years old now, 10, 11. It has matured into an asset class that's actually just as stable as anything else. So yes, historically it's been more volatile, and it has attracted people who are more speculators. But over time, it's becoming much more stable. Now, what we expect, so this is all kind of a long, prequel to the fact that earlier this year, a few times, starting in February, I started predicting Bitcoin moves. And I warned people, hey, this is a good time to get out because I think it's going to go down. This is a good time to get in. Last month in July, I predicted that it would begin its next bull run on a particular date, on the 23rd or 24th, and that is when it shot up. And so I think we are at the beginning of a big bull run for Bitcoin, which started about July 24th of this year, and will continue for at least another year and a half, I think.
No kidding.
So
now, Simon, do you have a membership list or something like that where people can sign up with you and get these types of financial predictions for cryptocurrency?
Yes, I do a class called Crypto Questions Answered, and it's for everybody from beginning to advanced. And the good news is it's on a donation basis, so if you want to join in, you just drop me $10, $20, whatever you can afford, on the link. And the link is it's on my website, spirittype.com/crypto questions answered. So if you just Google search Crypto Questions Answered by Simon, the page should come up. If you can't find it, maybe I definitely refer to it on my YouTube channel, or maybe I can send you the link. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and if you want to send us the link, I'll post it on our Facebook page for all our listeners. Because, I think this is a wonderful thing that you're doing, and you have accuracy with predicting this kind of thing with money. And I know you've done work on this before for gambling, and we've talked to you about lottery and all of that. So this sounds like a really good thing to get in on at this particular time.
I think so, especially if you combine it with your lucky times. So another thing that I've been researching a lot is how every one of us, I don't care if you're the unluckiest person in the world or you think you are, we all have lucky times every single day. Some days are better than others, but if you know the little 5-minute window when you have a little lucky time, anything you do, whether you call the credit card company to get an increase on your, on your credit, or you're gambling, or you're buying a stock, if you do it during that window, you're more likely to succeed. So what I've done for the members of my Crypto Questions Answered is we've made a little website, and this is actually my student. He's doing this all pro bono. we have a little website where you put in your location, and it will tell you your lucky times for every day, and you can even export it to your Google Calendar. Right?
No kidding.
So, yes. Now, it's still rudimentary. It's still based on just 4 techniques, but we're expanding it. We're building it so that at some point you'll be able to enter your own birth information, and it'll tell you not just based on the day and the location where you are, but also based on your chart, on your individual horoscope, when your best days are, and you can plot your month, your year, heck, even 10 years ahead. You can see when is that big Jupiter transit I'm going to have. I'm going to wait for it.
Is that the day to buy the lottery ticket? Yeah. Well, that's phenomenal. What a fun thing to participate in.
And I can tell you, I've been the guinea pig. I've been testing it with slot machines, which, because they require no skill, so nobody can say, well, you're really good at that, so that's why you're winning. No.
Yeah,
you're just pushing a button.
Right.
And I can tell you, I've even recorded myself. I've got a few things on YouTube where I'm like, okay, guys, my lucky time's about to come up here. I'm going to play a little now, and you see I'm playing, and I'm losing. And then my lucky time comes up, ding, 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 ding. It's crazy. It works like crazy. It's amazing. I'm amazed, and I've been doing this for so long. I'm still amazed. Like, how does this work? Don't ask me. It just does. So, but I want to give this to the people. Yeah. And so the site is, it's free right now. It's still a beta. We're still testing it. But anybody who comes on board our group, they can use the site for free. And like I said, to come on board, just drop any kind of donation. Drop $5, whatever it is.
So this is all part of the
class.
crypto. This is all part of the crypto aspect of your website. It's all in one place.
It's all in one place, right? So it's Crypto Questions Answered is the site. You can make a donation, then you'll get an invite to our class, and then I'll fill you in on all the how to use the site and all that. So even if you have no interest in crypto, you just want to use the Lucky Time site, reach out and we'll hook you up, and you can help us make it better.
Fun. Yeah, what fun! Oh my God, this is exciting. Okay, I'll be signing up. How about you, PK?
Not a doubt in my mind.
Please, because we also need feedback, so you can tell us, because it'll tell you Technique A is active between 10 a.m. and 10:07. Technique B is active like that, and you'll tell me, oh, Technique B didn't work, but man, Technique A, every time I play, I win something, right? So your feedback will help us make it better.
Oh, well, that's great. Be happy to help.
Okay, perfect.
For sure. Well, we're going to take a very short commercial break, and we're going to come back and talk more about all of these exciting predictions and lucky times and all kinds of ways to work with you, Simon, to better our lives. So everybody stay tuned. You're listening to Supernatural Girls, and we'll be right back.
Pure essential oils, specialized minerals, and a revolutionary anti-aging technology. Astridian combines the best of all scientifically proven ingredients in easy-to-use creams, lotions, and concentrated serums. Astridian's advanced line of products take your skin to a new level of being healthy and beautiful. We offer a variety of collections that address all your skin concerns. The Essential Anti-Aging Series treats and moisturizes your skin for a long-lasting, younger look. The Multivitamin Series promotes healthy skin with high-quality vitamins and minerals. The Sports Series restores skin from cellular damage and stress. Astridian also offers a revitalizing solution for hair and a professional series for doctors and medical spas. Visit astridian.love today and begin your new journey to healthy, beautiful, youthful skin. Astridian, beyond your expectations.
There are a lot of psychics out there. How do you decide which one is right for you? You look for someone who empowers you, who's practical and spiritually connected, who says, here are your opportunities, here are your challenges, and here's a way to deal with them. and then gives you your own toolbox to make your life everything you want it to be. Hi, I'm Corby Mitleid, and that's how I work with you. As a certified professional tarot reader, I've helped thousands of people for over 40 years through my toolbox. Cards, past life retrieval, numerology, spirit guide conferences, and mediumship. Whether it's career, relationships, finances, or your spiritual road, together we can replace your confusion with clarity. And you'll probably find a little laughter along the way. Visit me at CorbyMitleid.com to find out how to cross your bridge from fear to fearlessness and fly. And tell me you found me at Supernatural Girls for a special gift with your reading. Corby Mitleid, the practical psychic for catching your tomorrows today. Find me at CorbyMitleid.com. That's CorbyMitleid.com.
Your property tax bill. Have you seen it lately? It's frightening. Your property taxes are going up while your home value is going down. It's time to fight back and win. For the real truth about the property tax system, get attorney Pat Quintilian's book, Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Attorney Quintilian answers all your questions and gives you the facts you need to fight a property tax bill that is spiraling out of control. You'll also read about what happens to property owners who don't check their property records, only to find out too late they're taxed on square footage, fixtures, and even buildings that they don't own. Is this happening to you? Learn your rights. Buy attorney Pat Quintilian's book today. Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Available on Amazon.com.
Are you frustrated with endless mantras, affirmations, and processes that promise to align your life with your dreams, only to find yourself years later in the same space where you began? Do you feel like you must be doing something wrong because nothing seems to be working? Don't you just wish that someone could shift your consciousness for you and your life could align with your desires without all the effort? Well, your wish is about to come true. Hi, I'm Carrie Cannon, and I have a gift that allows me to align the consciousness of others to be in harmony with their dreams. The best part is, it requires no particular effort on your part. Upon listening to a consciousness alignment, people have reported instant energy shifts, financial windfalls, soulmate connections, healed relationships, physical healings, and more. To gain access to a free trial offer for my entire Manifesting Miracles library of consciousness alignments, go to commandmiracles.com now for details. Again, that's commandmiracles.com for information about our free trial offer. That's commandmiracles.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Supernatural Girls Radio. I am your host, Patricia Baker. I'm here with my co-host, PK, and our great guest tonight. We're so enjoying Simon. We're talking about luck and making money, and oh my goodness, it's so exciting. But before we go back to Simon, I wanted to just mention to you there are 2 new free treatments from Tom Palladino at scalarlight.com. He is offering a neuroendocrine scalar treatment and a digestion treatment. Now, I participated in the neuroendocrine one, and let me tell you something. It was amazing. It was totally amazing. So I highly recommend that you put your name in the hat for that, send your photo in, because it's free, and you'll get a benefit from it. If you want to continue with Tom after the 30 days that he's offering you, for no cost, you can easily do that, and he has all of that information on his website, scalarlight.com, Tom Palladino. So, Simon, my goodness, this is really fun to be talking to you about participating in this great experiment with luck and cryptocurrency. Now, are there any other cryptocurrencies that are on the rise like Bitcoin is?
Yeah, well, there are, okay, hold on to your hats, okay? Are you ready? Are you sitting down?
We are.
There are over
fastened.
5,000 cryptocurrencies.
You're
oh, my gosh.
I'm not kidding. So probably number 5,000, number 4,999, and so forth, we don't care about. But we do care about the top 10 because, and they're the top 10 because they've proven themselves to be companies that actually produce something. They create a value. So the number 2 cryptocurrency is called Ethereum, and Ethereum is basically the next level. They're the next level of Bitcoin, and Ethereum is very hot right now. A lot of people are building apps on top of the Ethereum blockchain and games and so on, so that, one of the biggest industries, and I don't really get it. I'm too old for this. I used to play video games when I was younger, not so much anymore. But
right.
It is gaming. Did you know that the gaming industry makes more money than NFL, MLB, NBA, golf, and all of the sports combined?
What?
Oh, my God.
Yes. That's what I said. I said, what? So within that industry, there are certain games where you can power up, like you can buy a special, outfit, special things. When you do that, how do you buy those things? It's through the blockchain. And so there are certain blockchains that apply to gamers. And then you can send them to other players, right? So you can buy, let's say there's another player and you can buy a really cool thing and you send it to her and it's like, hey, how you doing? Hey, I got you something. Except it's all virtual, right? So this is a whole new world, and some cryptocurrencies are designed to work in these video games. And they're becoming huge because, literally billions of dollars are being spent and being made in the video game industry every year. So there's so many applications for different kinds of cryptocurrency. So I mentioned Bitcoin is the big daddy. It's like IBM, if you will. But then there's the Apple, there's the Yahoo, there's the all the other upstarts. So Ethereum is number 2. There's one called Chainlink, which is very hot right now. And the more you just come to the class if you want to find out more. We do talk about them. But really, just go online also. Just go to YouTube and click, search cryptos for dummies or something, or cryptocurrency for beginners, and you'll see there are a lot of tutorials.
Here's the thing, Simon. I've done that, and my eyes glaze over. But when you talk about it, I'm able to understand what you're saying.
Shows me something. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's probably because I'm not an expert. I'm not an engineer, right? I don't know how my internet works, but I can explain to you what email is because I use it. So I think a lot of the people out there who are explaining Bitcoin and the blockchain are engineers. So they talk to you about, nodes and hash rates and all these things that are just you want to just fall asleep.
Yes.
But those are the questions.
Way up at Caesars.
But anyway, I commend you guys for even asking the questions about because these are tough questions, and sometimes it's a little embarrassing. It's like asking, like me asking these young skaters, like, hey, how does this hoverboard skater thing work? They're like, you're too old. You can't get it. I'm like, no, I'm trying. Come on.
Yeah.
Be nice. So I commend you for asking because it truly is. The next 3 or 4 years, this will become mainstream, and like it or not, we'll be part of that, the cryptocurrency revolution. And who else is giving you 10% interest? I mean, unless you're some millionaire investor whom the banks favor, if you're an ordinary person, where can you get 10%?
Yeah, you
can.
Does. But you can with Celsius, you said, with that app Celsius, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing. I'll admit, it's still not the easiest thing to transfer, but you only do it once, right? So you download the app to your phone. You're going to need to verify your identity, just like you do it's like opening a bank account. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. You got to show you are who you are. It takes a little bit of time, but once it's done and you upload some, you buy some currency, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum, you just start earning interest on it. There's nothing else you need to do. And the great thing is, every week you get an interest payment. So every Monday, I look at my phone like, I got lunch money.
And when you say you got lunch money, so this goes back into your Celsius account, and is that something you can actually use? Or, again, because there are a lot of businesses, obviously, that will not take this as payment. So how do you
no, not really.
benefit from this? So you have money in your account, and then so what?
So what? Right. It's like gold. You can also earn interest on your gold, by the way. He's the first in the world to offer people who own real physical gold to earn interest. I think you get like 3 or 4% on it.
Wow.
So even if you don't care about crypto, if you just want to own gold, you put it on Celsius, you'll earn 4% a year on it. And it's compound interest. Einstein said compound interest is the most powerful force in the universe.
Right.
So the way it works is there are never any fees. You can always withdraw it to your bank account, but no, you can't spend that like to buy a hot dog, and nor would you want to. What Mashinsky wants for people is for them to grow their savings. He doesn't want this to be like a credit card that you just use and you lose your crypto. This is like a real savings account, an old-timey thing where you just put your coins in and they grow over time. And if at some point you want to break the piggy bank, you can anytime you want. But the idea is you don't use Celsius to buy stuff. No, it's not for that. That's what you've got your Visa card. But if you this sounds like an advertisement. I'm totally not advertising for Celsius. I just like things that work. I appreciate people who add value. Right? What he does for people, and I've tested this, I've done this, he lets you take a loan out against your crypto, so you don't have to spend it at 1%, meaning he's giving out 1% loans, no origination fees, no repayment fees, nothing. So if you take out a $100 loan over the course of a year, you'll have to pay $1 back. You have to pay back $101.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Yeah. It's crazy, but it's the loan to value is only 25%. So if you want to take out a $100 loan, you have to have $400 in the account. That's how he ensures that you'll be able to repay it. But still, that gives you. So I took out a loan for more than $100, and the next day it was in my bank account, and then I repaid it. The next day, they released my cryptocurrency, which they held as collateral. So I tested it out. I like to test everything that I recommend, and it works.
That's fabulous.
I paid them
Very
1%.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
But I didn't think we'd be talking about Celsius this much, but there you go. You never know with the conversation.
Well, it's like you said, if there's something that works and there's an
new
ease
world
of use, that's great. Yeah, and we like to be part of the new world. Age is just a number, so we like to explore these new things. And now we have you as our guide, which we really appreciate. So
definitely.
This is great. So let me ask you another question, Simon, in terms of what you see coming for us from a more spiritual side. We've had people on the show who have so far predicted accurately a number of things. They predicted COVID. They predicted problems with Russia and China. They also predicted an alien presence coming about very soon. And we've been watching closely with this tepid type of disclosure, the PR campaign, renaming UFOs, UAPs, things like that. So there's this whole other aspect of connection with other beings, and then, of course, our spiritual connection. I'm wondering if you've seen anything in the Vedic charts that you've looked at that would indicate any kind of alien presence or greater spiritual connection coming up for us.
This is the second time I've got this question, so I should pay more attention to it. I'll give you the answer I gave the first time, which is that being in an outsider period, secrets will be disclosed during this cycle that the United States is in. And it's already happening, right? Simply because there are too many people, too many normal, responsible, by-the-book, square folks who have witnessed things, like pilots, like air traffic controllers, like engineers and scientists who have absolutely no reason to screw up their lives by lying, right? But but they have to tell the truth, and there's a sort of critical mass, and I think and it's coming out. I mean, it started way back when with Bob Lazar, and everybody made fun of him, but everything he said has been consistent, continues to be consistent. And if what he said is true, that there are spacecraft that we have, not we meaning, the U.S. government, in its possession, and they have anti-gravity devices, and they have, certain technologies that we're probably benefiting from, then they've been here for a long time, and it's just the disclosure about the presence of other beings is forthcoming. And I think so from that point of view, the fact that we are in an outsider period, and it's very hard to keep anything secret in an outsider period. That gives me hope. That gives me a lot of hope.
And how long does this outsider period go for?
We have another 10 years left, so this is
long time.
Yeah, we're not even halfway through, so we're still just getting started. So all the disclosure projects that began 6-7 years ago, they're going to be accelerating. Even Snowden is sort of part of this outsider period. He kind of began it, this disclosure of what was happening to through surveillance. But so
we also have the Pentagon
answer.
that just came. The Pentagon came out just recently and said they're going to release a report saying that they do have ET craft. So we're all waiting. I was hoping it would come out before our show, but it didn't.
So I'm excited because there is always, every difficult period has a silver lining, and this is the silver lining: is that in a period of revolution, it's going to be very hard to hold on to your secrets, and we're going to know, even things about Kennedy and so on. But secrets are continuing to come out.
And
so
there's been a lot of talk also with that about the deep state and some of the claims of pedophilia and things like that have gone on for years, child torture and child trafficking. And is that, I hope, is part of it too, that all of this will be exposed.
I have no idea about any of that. Honestly, I don't. I'm kind of a by-the-book kind of person. Like, I need evidence. Show me evidence. I don't like talking about people, whether they're famous people or not. Like, a lot of these conspiracy theories talk about very famous people. Well, why don't they talk about just somebody on the street? Like, why do all of the people who are involved in conspiracies have to be famous?
So why we pay attention to them?
What? Pardon?
I said I think that's the only way they'll pay attention to them, is if by getting a famous name to it. It's like someone told me today, they're waiting for JFK Jr. to come back again, that he really didn't die. They're waiting for this new extravaganza of him showing up. Come on, folks.
He's hanging with Elvis.
That's right, exactly. But you can't convince some of them. They're still waiting, regardless. It's crazy.
Because people want to believe in something that's beyond their own lives, right? I do.
True.
That's why I love astrology, because it connects me to something beyond myself. And then, but see, the Buddha famously said, test everything I tell you. If it works, then come back and you can be my disciple. But don't just blindly accept things because you feel they're true or you think they're true or because I or somebody else tells you they're true. Mm-hmm. See if they're true for you and your life. And not just, in your feeling like I feel like that might be true. No. You have to test things. And so I like to test things before I make a pronouncement. So if I don't know something, I will tell you, look, I don't know. And a lot of this, very conspiracy theory stuff, I think it's just people trying to plug into something that makes life exciting, that there's something more than just the everyday boring part of life. And I think it's just wrongly placed. I think you can plug into something, but it doesn't have to be this really seedy kind of, to me it's dirty. It's just dirty. It's just, I don't like it.
And I understand exactly what you're saying. I mean, there was another Hollywood producer on Twitter yesterday talking about, all of this horrible stuff that goes on in Hollywood. And my comment to him was, okay, names, dates, places, let's see the evidence of this. Because there are a lot of people that, jibber-jabber about it and say, oh, it's horrible and Hollywood is filled with this, but then they never come forward with the evidence. So I think a lot of people find that very frustrating because certainly if children are being harmed, then we all would like to get behind that being stopped. But without evidence and people just talking about it off the top of their head and, oh, yeah, Hollywood's so horrible, all these people in Hollywood are so horrible, well, then let's step up to the plate and hear the rest of the story. But so far...
Let's Harvey Weinstein the heck out of it, right?
Yeah,
let's
exactly.
do what we did with Weinstein.
Yes.
And, the other abusers. Because I'm sure there's always a kernel of truth, but around that kernel so much gets built up that's not. And then it becomes this giant snowball when it's really just a kernel. And you look and you think it's this giant thing, but so we got to peel away everything that's not real. And I agree with you 100%. There's probably elements of truth to it. Yes, but
without the evidence, it's kind of doesn't go anywhere. But certainly with this disclosure situation, they are purposefully putting out information
where there's so much evidence. See that, it's with the first 5 people who tell you about, they're aliens and this happened. You go, oh yeah, but then it's 50 people, then it's 500 people, then it's 5,000 who have real, solid, very difficult to deny evidence, whether it's and it's not just eyewitness, they're records, documents, pictures, and so forth. And then you start to go, okay, I have no reason to disbelieve this now because there's a mountain of evidence that says this is for real. So I think that's
not only is it for real, but it's what I'm looking at is as you do your predictions, how is that disclosure going to change our future? How is it going to change our lives on planet Earth? Because there are so many implications with that. So I know you said the second time you've been asked this question, so I'm going to be very interested to have you back on the show and have you take a look at all of the stuff with disclosure and how it's going to impact everybody.
Well, here's a conspiracy theory. I'm gonna spread one right now. You ready?
All right.
Go for it.
Go. Yeah.
What if Satoshi Nakamoto, the founder of Bitcoin, is either using alien technology or is in direct connection with alien technology?
Oh, I like that.
Because this thing came out of nowhere. This Bitcoin stuff, it's so revolutionary. It's so brilliant. I mean, if you the more you get into it, you realize, oh my God, this thing is designed to adapt to how many people are using it, so it doesn't grow too big, it doesn't grow too small. It's designed to become anti-inflationary, so it never. I mean, it's just so. It's like this brilliant little program, and you go, wow, how can one person have thought of all of this? So I'm planting the seed for that now. But yes,
put a knot in everybody's tail with that one.
Yeah, well, I like it.
I will look at the chart question, and maybe next time we can discuss.
That would be great.
I think that would be great because it is. I mean, we've watched this closely for a number of years, and having people on the show who are like Captain Kramer, who have been a part of running statistical analysis on what's coming next for all of us, and certainly there's been a lot said about alien bases here on the Earth. There's been a lot said about the truth about abductions and how the government's been involved for so many years. So having all of that finally come to the surface, plus at the same time we're witnessing a huge interest in the paranormal in general. And,
Definitely.
For so many years people made fun of people like us. And now it's like, when's the next paranormal show coming on TV that we can all watch? Mm-hmm. So what are you seeing in the chart about paranormal and that incredibly high interest?
Well, the paranormal, if COVID's done anything, it's gotten us in touch with something outside of the 9 to 5 of, going to work, coming home, watching TV, going to sleep, and repeat. And so it's given us a lot of time to sort of be with ourselves, which is giving us time to meditate, to get angry with our spouses, to figure out alternate ways to diffuse those situations. And in doing so, I think more people are, because you have leisure time, this is one thing that, classically governments don't want you to have, is extra leisure time. Leisure time is a feature of hunter-gatherer societies where you hunt and gather for about 4 hours a day, and the rest of the time you're free. Mm-hmm. In modern society, you're never free. You're always under the influence of something: the TV, the video game, the phone, the boss. So with COVID now, I think a lot of us are part of the interest in more paranormal is because we have more leisure time. And I think because COVID's going to be around for a while, at least another 6 months with us, I think it's planted a seed. And we're realizing that, for example, there are alternate sources for news, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Including Supernatural Girls Radio.
Right.
There are alternate sources of knowledge and information. And so there are alternate sources of personal development. And I think as people move into exploring, hey, I've always wanted to try tarot. I just ordered my first deck from Amazon because I got nothing else to do. And now they're pulling their cards, they're pulling spreads, and they're going, oh, my God, this stuff is amazing. And now they're buying stones to ground themselves. And all of a sudden what started out as something to pass the time because we have leisure time is now a full-on hobby. And I'm talking about someone I know. This is not just, I'm not making this up. Mm-hmm. And I imagine it's similar for people around the world, that going within is the most paranormal experience we can have. And whether you do it through your religion or through, astrology or meditation or tarot or mediumship, that is the true way to connect yourself, rather than going external and looking for, what's the deep state done this time, and who's the latest person I can become outraged at. Outrage is really outrage is the spiritual practice for the lazy person, I think.
Interesting.
I like that.
Because if you're truly outraged, then you go out and do something about it. If you really feel that, but otherwise you go inward and you try to improve yourself. If you see what's happening in the outside world as a manifestation of your own turmoil, you see, the police brutality, you see everything that's happening, or whatever injustice that you perceive, look inside yourself and try to you yourself become a better person. This is what my own mentors taught me, is that you reform yourself so that you vibrate at a higher level of energy rather than being sucked into a lower level of energy by by reacting to something. Usually something that's not even real.
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Does that make sense?
I think that's why so many people find what's going on in some of the major cities so repulsive. It's all about that outrage and blame and destruction of property that's not theirs, and it's temper tantrums rather than being responsible.
And you do have to expect a little bit of that, because if people have been sort of feeling suppressed for a long time and you finally give them a chance, yes, there's going to be and so I understand that. That's not there's going to be some broken eggs for sure if you got to make this omelet. But that's not a long-term solution. Okay, no. Scream into the pillow, break some eggs, fine, break some glasses. Okay, are you done? Okay, can we talk? Okay, let's sit down and talk now. So I think the final solution is to simply to make yourself vibrate at a higher level so that anything you come into contact to, you raise them up rather than letting them suck you down to that lower level. I know it's easy to say and so much harder to do, but still we got to try. You know?
Well, you're right, and especially because I do know some people who have businesses in those cities. I mean, when it's your business being burned to the ground, it's kind of tough, to take that higher ground because, hey, wait a second here. That person worked so hard to build up their business, serve their community, and here's what's happening, and it's totally ridiculous. Yeah. But that's the goal, I think, for so many people, but they're being tested to beyond their limits. So talk to us also, Simon, about some of the services that you offer, because I know you do charts for people and different kinds of charts for people. Tell us about that.
Well, honestly, I am not doing any more charts. I've stopped seeing clients. I'm exclusively focused on researching these lucky times because, believe it or not, a lot goes into that, and teaching classes. So I'm full-time teaching now. I've transferred all of my personal clients to my colleague Nadia, who is an excellent astrologer, and I'm going to give you her website right now. Anyone who wants a psychic/astrology reading, she's incredible. She will tell you things about your childhood that you're like, oh my God, I forgot about that. Not only have I not told anyone, I forgot about that.
Oh my.
So she's the one who's taking all of my clients. So her website is Ardra Moon, ARDRA Moon, MOON.com, ardramoon.com. And she's a lovely young lady, and she's more than competent to take my clientele.
Does she do Vedic astrology also?
She does Vedic astrology, yes.
Terrific. Okay, ardramoon.com.
Very good.
So you're doing all of the research.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm going to go look at it.
I'm behind the scenes now. I'm behind the camera, and I'm trying to build a better mousetrap so the world can benefit from it. To, give the everyday person a little bit of an advantage. If you know that you've got this lucky time between 3 p.m. to 3:15, and you're dreading going to the bank and talking to them about your loan or about your mortgage, but you do it during that time, well, for gosh sake, you've got a little 10-20%, you got a little extra angel behind you during that time. And I want to help people with that. So that's the focus of my research now and probably for the next few months going forward.
Are you going to be writing a book?
Are you in Phoenix temporarily, or is that your location?
No and yes, respectively. So no on the book, I just do not have time for it. I'm sharing all of this via video, via live classes.
Okay.
And yes, I'm right here in Phoenix, in West Phoenix. I like to say it's the suburbs of L.A. I'm so far west Phoenix. It's like the parking lot of Disneyland. That's where I am. Not quite, but almost. So, yes. And it is still 113 degrees here right now.
Oh, my God.
I empathize. I just can't believe anybody's got it worse than we do in Tucson. know Phoenix is always bad.
Tucson is lovely. You don't have the urban sprawl, number one. You don't have the same level of heat. And you guys have a Costco down there, right?
I beg your pardon?
You do have a Costco down there? Costco
yes,
warehouse?
Definitely.
Well, see, so you have all the benefits and none of the detriments.
Lots of good stuff.
I kid, of course, but
You've been a delight to talk with this evening. You've given so much information for people to get opportunities to do things better. I think that's fabulous.
Yeah.
We're very fortunate that you're with us tonight.
And visit. Well, it's my pleasure and it's my honor, and thank you for inviting me back. I wasn't sure if I said something wrong last time because I never heard from you, Patricia. So
no, not at all. No, we loved having you on last time. It's just that I got to tell you, we get overwhelmed with requests to be on the show, and so sometimes, every once in a while, I take a breath and I go, well, who haven't we talked to in a while? And you came to mind, and I'm on your mailing list, so I was looking at some of the things you were doing, and I thought they were so interesting. And I said to PK, we've got to get Simon back on the show. So perfect timing. Yes.
Well, there you go. And I thank you. Of course, I'm joking around, but check out ardramoon.com, and for people who want some guidance, who want to know their life path, why they're here and how they can raise their energy, because it's easy to say, okay, look inside and you'll be able, but how? Like, right. If it were that easy, everybody who has some spare time and meditated once in a while would be enlightened. So there are different paths for different people, and that's where it gets a little messy, because, what works for Tony Robbins may not work for you. What works for Eckhart Tolle may work for him and a few people, but it may not work for you.
That's right.
So you have to find your path,
That's it. That's totally it.
And knowing your chart can help you do that. That's the point.
And for people that want to find you, they can go to spirittype.com, and all the information you will also find there, everybody, for the cryptocurrency and the lucky times. So make sure you go to Spirit Type, that's SpiritType.com.
Yes,
so, Simon, thank
you
so much. This has been so enjoyable, just a wonderful evening spent with you, and I know our audience has been loving it. So we will definitely have you back as you proceed with your research and as you find more exciting things, and also more about disclosure in our charts to see how that's going to play out for everybody.
Well, you've got me on the hook now, so I'm on record saying I will look into it, so I have to.
We're going to hold you to that.
So you're on.
Yes.
Challenge accepted.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. And next week, everybody.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Oh, great. And we will be back with Renee Barnett, my sister in crime over here, who has a show called Night Vision. She's going to be relaunching that on KGRA. I'm not sure when, but she's going to tell us all about it. And Renee is also producing another live stream ghost hunting episode with the Lizzie Borden House. So she's coming back next week to tell us all about what's happening with the live stream and Lizzie Borden's house. And we are also going to be talking to her friend James. And I think we're going to be talking about the bloodline of the Holy Grail, which is something that Renee and James are experts with. So it's going to be another very exciting show, everybody. Be sure to join us. And until then, we will see you on the Blue Highway. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for another radio adventure with Supernatural.